Gives me a spinning circle when I get here. We're live. Um, as you can tell by the thumbnail, I have four printers. Um, I am going to share my screen, a window, bamboo printer. I'll share, and I got to make sure it's there. There it is. That's printer one. Printer A, you can see it up here on the left-hand corner. I could show you all four. You can't see all four at one time from what I'm seeing, but I got rack one, printer A, rack one, printer B, rack one, printer C, rack one, printer D. Like I said, I was going to run these things as a team. So I got in there and I got it so that I know what's going on where. This tells me everything that's going on. I can see from this board where the printer head is, what's going on, what reel it's running from. The video you see, the camera you see is time lapse. It's not live. So they're time lapse cameras. I only have four color. I only have two colors, black and white right now. So I run black on two and white on two. Not that it matters. I'm just running different colors to see what happens. This is the beginning of a test for a chess set. That's the base of the pawns. The pawns look like, well, let's go to D so you can see D. I got three poop cans printing because this little plastic crap gets all over the place. These little balls, and I stepped on one, pissed me off, so now I'm printing these poop bins. So I got to get back. I'm not real good with this technology here, guys. So there is the first pawn. If you weren't on the show, if you didn't see the Scott show last night, there's the first pawn I printed. I believe the quality of that pawn is much better than any Chinese set. That has a nice solid base. The lines are very clean. There's no stringing. There's no seam line. You know, I worked on this for a while, guys, to hide the seam. This is, you know, when you get the printer, you have to print out that freaking boat. I printed out a boat. These are skeleton pawns. They ran, I took 8 of them, and I think it ran for 5.5 hours. Everybody was laughing at me. Whatever. I don't really care. What you see is this stuff around it. If you look in the back, you could see, I don't know if you can see the spine, the base, and then the spine's right in there. These are supports. And what it's supporting is his head, because his head, remember, it's hot plastic, so the head can wobble. So the trees around it will support his head. I do not know if I'm going to run this as a set. It was actually a test to see what happened with supports. I need a pair of small pliers to be able to get all that plastic to break off evenly. I went and got my toolbox out of the RV. I just haven't done it yet. So I'm getting there. Oh, I screwed up. I bought 5 A1 minis. I thought I bought A1s. They are A1 minis. I am not unhappy about it. But from everything I'm seeing right now, I don't know that I need an AMS. I know that AMS has its advantages, but if you look at the picture, they're very close. They're sitting on, the printers are basically sitting on top of each other on a shelving unit. If I run just one reel off the back of the printer, there'll be a lot more space and it'll be a lot easier to change out the reels. And because I run single color, multi-part chess pieces, it's going to be a lot easier. So I'm making a list, just so you know. I am keeping track of everything that's going on. Um, what have I bought? What do I need when I set up a new rack? I need four printers. I need one shelving system, four poop baskets. Uh, I'm going to try and have a tool station right there with all the different tools that I need to work on these things, and scrapers, and yeah, it takes time to get this thing up and running. Um, a multi-prong outlet. I didn't think about that because I only have a two outlet there. I needed to get in a four outlet so that I could plug in all four. Eventually, I will have battery backup. Uh, I don't know which one I'm going to go with. I'm looking at them. My problem so far, I'm I'm going to run them FBA. Um, they're asking if I'm going to run these FBA or FBM. FBA is fulfilled by Amazon. FBM is fulfilled by merchant. That's where I ship. I'm not looking to ship anything. I like FBA. I drop it in a box. I send it to Amazon, and Amazon manages it for me. I am not planning on launching until January. I bought filament today. I have black and white. I need more colors, so I spent I don't know, $700 or $800 on filament. I got a bunch of colors. I got the two tone colors. I got solid colors. I just got. Um, the problems I have is the rack is too small, but I don't want to go to a bigger rack. Um, I really think that I am going to go to a single reel, one color print, um, because I really don't plan on printing more than one color. If I get into chessboards, now listen, guys, I ran some numbers based on things that I'm doing now. Will I get better at this and more efficient? Absolutely. But I ran some numbers in the beginning, and I don't know that I'm going to be able to print chessboards. Um, Not because I don't want to or that they're too big or any of that. I don't know that I'm going to be able to keep up with sales unless I get up to around 100 printers. People think I'm nuts. I'm looking at, I have somewheres in the neighborhood of, yeah, I thought about that too. But the problem is these pieces are small. So I'll know if I'm going to run out. And what I may do is have one or two printers that run four heads, and I use all the small filament reels on them. So I stack them with the short reels. Um, I can get about 2.5 days of printing per reel with these pieces right now. Um, Now I haven't tweaked the print. What you see being printed right now is a poop basket. I have it in draft because I it doesn't need to be strong. It just needs to catch that little plastic crap that I was stepping on. Um, the problem with the four reels is on the minis with the rack system that I have to conserve space. I went with a smaller rack system. I don't have a lot of space for the AMS. I may run two AMS and two single reel. Um, so that the space that would give me enough space to run four on the rack. I don't want to change the rack. I like the rack system. To go to the next size rack is overkill, and I'm going to have a lot of wasted space. And when I get into the bigger numbers of racks, I'm going to have a problem with space, um, in a shop. I'm going to run out of space. Um, some of the things I'm looking at is not a dehumidifier, a food dehydrator, a commercial grade food dehydrator. so I could stack reels of filament in there and run the dryer and let it dry the filament out and get the moisture level down lower than what it comes in at. Don't ask me what the moisture level is. I ran it. I opened these things up. I ripped it out of the bag. I threw them on, and they're printing. Um, I I want things to go wrong. I know that sounds crazy, but I want things to break because if I don't get things to break, I'm not going to be able to fix the problems. And that's what people struggle with sometimes to understand. I look for, what's going to happen. What happens when a nozzle clogs? I'm hoping I clog a nozzle. I hope I don't do it on the the poop things. I don't want, I want them done and then just being used. Um, but what do I do if I clog a nozzle? How do I unclog it? Can I run enough maintenance that I improve my probability of not having a clogged nozzle? Or is it because there's something dirty in the filament is that what's clogging the nozzle? I don't know. I haven't had a clogged nozzle yet, so I can't tell you. Um, I know that on my phone, I could leave right now, and on my phone, I can open up the app, and everything you see going on here, you could see on my phone. So I could see all this on my phone. I'll switch to another background so you guys could watch another printer. This is the chess pieces being printed. This is at 9%. These numbers are off. I'm going to tell you this percentage thing is off. The 7 hours is off. It's not real accurate. But as you can see, it's printing the base of the pawn, it's printing these in white. How many am I printing? I think 17 or 18. It's a 4-plate run. There's 4 different plates to this unit here, to this what to this particular chess set. There's 4 plates to make 4 parts to sell. 4 kits to sell. There'll be 17 pieces in each kit. You get a king, 2 queens, 2 bishops, 2 knights, 2 rooks, and 8 pawns. They are tournament specified sizing. So my kings are 95 centimeters. My queens are 85 centimeters. I looked all this stuff up. I've ran 3-wall print on it, so they're a little heavier. They feel nice in your hand. It doesn't feel like a Chinese knockoff. I am going to promote that these are made in America. Made in America, veteran-owned business. I am promoting that on Amazon. I am allowed to, and I'm going to. These are all things that have to be done before I'm really ready to launch. I'm running a lot of tests. I really don't have a whole lot on the business aspect of it right now. I'm looking at, okay, where am I going to store the filament? There's a lot of room underneath, but if I bring in a food dehydrator, where am I going to put that in the assembly? Is it going to fit under? Like, am I going to have to run 1 per rack, 1 per line? If a line is 4 racks, do I need 1 food dehydrator for 4 racks? I don't know what those things are. These are all questions that I've been jotting down a list of my questions that I need to answer. And where am I going with this? Like I said, a lot of this isn't about the print side of it, guys. I'm not going to get into how I slice this or the settings I use for this. I don't know. You may be able to see it on here. No, I'm not trying to hide it. It's just not what I want what I want this series to be about. This series is strictly about, I didn't know a damn thing, and I decided I'm launching a print farm. And come along with me for the journey, because it looks like all fun and games right now. but hell's going to break loose at some point. I am going to run into problems. The printers are going to fail. I'm going to end up with a big fuzzy ball of plastic one morning when I wake up. Something's going to happen. Now, what I can tell you is I'm only using one filament, meaning I am using this L- ELEGOO, Elego, or whatever it is, was running a Black Friday special at $10 a roll. I went in and bought a bunch of it. Some people say, a lot of people say they like it, so I'm going to run with it. Um, I'm not going to, if I decide that it's a good filament and it works well for me and I don't have a lot of problems with it, that may be my supplier for filament or whatever, however you say it. That may be who I use. I am not going to go, oh, this guy's got it for 7.99. Let's buy his. And oh, this week it's 8.99 over here and 9.99. That's not a system. That's not good for this type of business because all those qualities are going to be different. All the humidity levels will be different inside of those. If you watch the guys that do big print farms, they talk about the humidity difference between uh, bamboo and this one and creative, and then this $8 one on Amazon. Um, some of them run tests, and on the little boat thing, they run these, they print these, and you can see the lines in the print, and it's just not a nice print. um the top of the boat has a nice smooth, has a nice shingled roof on top. it, and some of them come out and they're real stringy and they get a lot of problems. I'm not looking for that kind of stuff, guys. This is a business that it's going to be profitable, so I can afford to pay for supplies from a supply chain. Now, don't get me wrong. If I'm using Elegoo or whatever, however you say it, and 3 weeks from now their price triples, well, I'm going to have to shop around. You know, like anything else, I got to keep costs down. But I'm not shopping. I'm not trying to save $1 this week and end up with a whole bunch of printer problems. Um, One of the things on my list to do is I know I need parts. I need to order enough parts that I can rebuild one of these machines no matter what happens to it. This way, when I do have a larger number of them, I don't have to worry about it. If something goes wrong, I can pull it out. I would like to have a couple spares, so if I pull one out, I can slap one right back in. Um, and I can change the name of the printer. So I would change it to temp ABC, temp rack one printer B or whatever it is, so that I know that that temp's got to come back out and the original one has to go back in. I hope to have one or two printers sitting. If you're using PLA, sounds like you are, just don't let them use those outside. PLA melts super easy, like crazy easy. I'll have to put it out in the sun and see what happens with it. Because if that's the case, I may have to change my filament. Thanks for telling me that. I didn't notice that, Gramps. Uh, I just I like the print. I am very satisfied with the print quality. I'm very happy with the print quality of what I have here. So I just wanted to jump on here. I'm going to try and keep these updates 15 to 20 minutes in time, unless there's something major. Uh, these printers will be running for the next 5 to 8 hours. Um, All right. He says I had a PLA print in my windowsill inside, and it worked in a few hours. I switched to PETG. Your window also acts as a magnifying glass, depending on where you are. If you're in Arizona, that sun will freaking. You don't even need to have a piece of glass. It feels like it's coming through a magnifying glass. That sunlight's so hot. Um, South Dakota, South Dakota. I wonder if that is that in the United States. Breaking your chops. I know it's in the United States. Um, oh, I know a problem I ran into. Just so you are aware of it as I close this out. These things vibrate like freaking mad. Um, I went and got the window film and I looked at it and I found this very thick, rubbery film and I put it under the shelf, completely around the shelf, and that has dampened it a lot. The other thing I did was the rack wasn't all the way up against the baseboard. I had it away from the baseboard and away from the corner a little bit. Um, when I went in, I had to move this. When I went to set the printers up, I have one set up. When I went to set the four up, I pushed that whole shelving unit back into the corner and against the baseboard so that it's not freestanding as much. Um, if I was doing this on a permanent basis, I would anchor those shelves down, even if I had to unanchor them when I moved them. With commercial space, you can modify the flooring so I could drill a hole and run a bolt in uh, the four corners to hold it down. These are nice shelving units from Home Depot. They were $159. There's a pin that comes in so I can connect two shelving units together to make it sturdier. So, with all that, I'm getting there. I've made some mistakes. I'm learning a few things. I'm starting to, can't wait till you get to production level. I don't know that I'm going to get to production level in 30 days. I mean, I'll get to production level on the four machines. Um, Production level, I was talking about this morning. In reality, if I've run uh, somewhere between 10 and 15 different colors and textures and same piece, same set, just 10 to 15 different colors and textures. And they have this nice wood filament now that I want to try. They have marble, they have all these different things. I really need 12 printers, 8 to 12 printers running just this design. So I don't know that I'm going to get up to production level. Um, I'm going to guess by Monday, I'm going to be at production, as maxed out on production until I'm able to streamline streamline it better. Like, can I work on different pieces? Rearrange the bed somehow so that I cut time. What happens if one of the things I want to do is check print. Right now, I'm printing these at what the hell am I printing them at? Let's look. You can look with me. I am printing these at, and I can't see. I think it's 16. Yeah, 0.16 millimeter high. Um, I cut my speeds back on the initial level. I cut my speed back on the top level, top surface. I cut back to 50. It gives it a smoother top finish. Um, I have supports selected, but none of these pieces need support. I have cut these all. I've tweak the design so that I don't need any supports on any of these pieces. This is the layout I have right now to run 4 sets. Um, so I've done some homework. So with that, I mean, I'm over time. I really want to keep it 15 to 20 minutes. Guys, I'll be back tomorrow. I am determined to do this for 30 days straight, at least. The first 30 days is just so that you guys know that I'm serious about it. Um, After that, I'm not sure what I'll get into. Uh, I think one of the things I would like to do is I would like to color this part gold and one with the silver in the middle. I just don't know if I can do it and run two tone for a higher price item. I don't know. We'll see. But for now, guys, remember, God loves you. I'm trying. Have a blessed day. I'm out of here. All right. Peace.